YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back with some more NFL record predictions for the 2020 NFL season here, game by game through all the teams. This video for the Arizona Cardinals. We did every single division, and we're on the NFC West right now. So did the Niners and now the Cardinals from the NFC West. Still got the Seahawks and the Rams to do. And then we'll move on to playoff and Super Bowl predictions. And you guys will be making your own predictions as well, which will create a future video. Follow the Twitter. That's where you vote for who wins each division, who will get the wild cards, who will get what seed, and then who will win each round of the playoffs on the Super Bowl. So that's going to be a future video there, so cannot wait for that, something new. Please subscribe to both of our channels. Recently hit 50K on this channel, want to kind of match it on that second channel. Really appreciate the support, and then please check out our podcast as well. Any link that you need will be in the description in the comments. And moving on, playoffpredictors.com is the site we're using to make all these predictions. You guys can go there, make your own predictions, come back to the comments with your predictions. But to the Cardinals, like the schedule for them. It's a pretty good schedule for them to have a shot to make the playoffs here. The question is for the Cardinals, maybe still the offensive line. Maybe it got a little better another year in this system. So it kind of could get even the guys that pretty much are the same exact players, the same pieces, could really just get better another year in the system. But you still kind of worry about it a little bit. You expect Kyler Murray to take that next step. You got to continue to grow. You expect a guy like Cliff Kingsbury to take the next step. His second year coaching in the NFL, head coaching, and identifying his offense, his team, what the game plan is every single week. Last year was more of they're kind of finding their way as the year went on. Kenyon Drake even got thrown into that mold, and it kind of worked out. So they really didn't have their firm identity last year, and they were a little bit of a sneaky team, perhaps. It's one of those teams that kind of have the game plan factor to them. It's tough to game plan against this kind of new school, almost a college offense. Tons of receivers out there, more receiver sets than any team in the NFL. Don't use the tight end a whole bunch. And then an improving defense. Chandler Jones, one of the best. You had Devon Kennard. You had Isaiah Simmons, who I think is an instant impact, not just as a linebacker either. Even if he's playing linebacker, it's not just a linebacker impact. He will be an impact rushing the passer, stopping the runs, being rangy sideline to sideline, and, of course, in coverage as well. I think that secondary is pretty underrated. It's a pretty good secondary. They also had Devondre Campbell. They're trying to beef up the defensive line a bit. So it's definitely a much improved team, and a team that will probably get better by default as it is anyways. So it's definitely a sneaky team to look out for here. Cardinals, 49ers, week one. I did the Niners video first from the NFC West, and I actually picked the Cardinals. I like this for them, even though it's away. The Niners, I think both teams be prepared. No major changes. Usually I look at quarterbacks or coaching staff, offensive line, maybe no major changes. So I think both teams be prepared. Cardinals gave the Niners a little bit of a scare, a team that could actually move the ball on them last year. It's probably because it's just that new school type of offense that Niners defense really isn't matched up for. They're matched up for mainly the rest of the league, the other dominant teams that were consistently good. So I think the game plan factor showing up for the Cardinals. Pass rush really isn't a huge factor early on in the year. It seems like offensive lines kind of hold up early in the year. I think Ware kind of, even if they're healthy still, Ware kind of brings out the better offensive lines, over time, and the better pass rushes over time. And especially against the scrambler and Kyler Murray, I just don't think the pass rush will be a huge factor at this point. So I think the Cardinals. Redskins, Cardinals. The Redskins, their factor is their pass rush too, which they got a younger pass rush with Chase Young, Montez Sweat. So they really could get after Kyler Murray, slow him down, but will they be slowing him down enough? Because either way, Murray in this offense will make the plays. They will put points up on the board, not a ton, but they'll put points on the board. Can the Redskins keep up? That's kind of the question. I like the matchup for the Cardinals here. Against the Lions in week 3. They tied in week 1 last year, so we get to see who the winner is. I think more of the improved team from then is the Cardinals. I just think more of that game plan factor there for, Patricia's defense going against this new style offense here. I think the Lions are a pretty good team early in the year too because they're healthy, so that should be a good game again. I like Cardinals though. They're at home as well. So they're starting off 3-0. This is fantastic. Against the Panthers, maybe down the stretch, the Cardinals may be the better team. I did pick the Panthers in this one though. Two teams that kind of got that game plan factor. We don't really know what to expect from the Panthers as well with this Joe Brady offense. New quarterback. quarterback. I think McCaffrey could be a big problem for this Cardinals defense, mainly and specifically in this matchup. So I will take the Panthers at home. The Cardinals, Jets, I'm starting to kind of get a little cold on the Jets, because I like their defense. But they're missing the most important thing. That's pass rush. And now they have the Jamal Adams situation. I don't really trust Gase's offense really a whole bunch. Maybe they are heading in the right direction with the players they're bringing in recently, but I'm just not really feeling them lately. So I'm gonna take the Cardinals in this one. Can the Jets keep up with the Cardinals is mainly the question there. Cardinals, Cowboys. I'll take the Cowboys at home. I think this is probably a shootout game. This is kind of a game where Dak gets going. Where all those yards came from last year. Games like this, and it's Monday night in Dallas. So, I think that Cowboys offense gets going in that game. Cardinals defense, again, improved. They'll still have the kind of their hiccups. They're kind of tough moments. Seahawks, Cardinals. I like the Cardinals at home. This should be a really good game. Russ versus Kyler Murray. I like the Cardinals at home in this one. Bye week in Week 8 is fantastic for them. It's a perfect time to have a bye week, in my opinion. Dolphins, Cardinals. Definitely like the Cardinals in that one. Bills, Cardinals. I like the Cardinals in this one, too. The Bills are going to be a really good team. They might be the better team against the field compared to the Cardinals, but head-to-head in Arizona, it's a really good defense, really balanced defense. It's, the Bills, that is. It's a more of that old-school field defense. Kyler Murray might be that next, that problem for them, something that would be tough for them, so they will put up points, more points than most teams will against the Bills defense. And then can the Bills offense? I think the Bills offense will be better than people think. I think a really good secondary is the perfect situation against the Bills offense. And I think the Cardinals do have a pretty damn good secondary. So I think it's just a good matchup. Cardinals, Seahawks, Thursday night in Seattle. I'm taking the Seahawks in that one. It's a split. When those teams meet there twice this year. Cardinals, Patriots. I like the Cardinals. Patriots team's kind of too young, too new. I shouldn't say too young. It's kind of just too new. But they still kind of got that old school mentality. So I think, an offense like the Cardinals could be a problem for them, even if their defense is still good there. Rams, Cardinals. I like the Cardinals at home. Worry about, two offensive lines I may worry about in the stretch of the season. I worry about the Rams a little more here. I will take the Cardinals, and then the Cardinals Giants. This is one, I kind of went with, I think the Cardinals will be the better team overall, but I went with the Giants. I think Saquon kind of too much for them. You're running the ball out of the backfield, catching the ball downfield. I still think the Cardinals could step up on defense a little bit. They've gotten better, but I think, this is a game where Saquon will be kind of a problem, and it'll open things up for Danny Dimes. But the Cardinals, I think it'll probably be a shootout game. This will probably be a shootout game. They will probably be able to score on the Giants as well. So that'll actually be a good game. Depending, we may look at the team's records by the time we get to Week 14. Cardinals being very good, Giants on the lower side, may just think it'll be a walk in the park. And we'll see what the matchup feels like then. It's always different, but as of now, it just feels like the matchup could favor the Giants in New York. Eagles, Cardinals. I like so they dropped two here. I like in a row, I should say. I like the Eagles. I like the Eagles against the Cardinals. I think this would probably be another one of those games where it's a higher scoring game. But maybe because I don't think each team's defenses kind of match up with these offenses too well. You never really know what Doug Peterson's kind of going to throw at you. Carson Wentz in there, they can run some RPO. They can almost give it's a more of a multiple scheme as well. They can give you different looks. And so the Cardinals defense, kind of being still kind of fresh or like new, I think they could give them problems. But then the Eagles still got kind of more of the old school defense, so the spread attack could be a little too much for them. So this could be a shootout game, but I do like the Eagles. I actually have them going 2-0 against the Niners. Again, we saw them kind of give them a scare last year. It was one team that could actually get points on the Niners, and they're kind of more in their identity, more in their zone this year, I think, and that could be scary for the Niners there. And then against the Rams, I have the Rams pulling this last week off. That really could go either way, though. So I actually have 10-6 though for the Cardinals, and the schedule definitely helps them here. Kind of circling back, what could be the best case scenario? This is pretty close to best case. I think maybe the Giants are just struggling. They're down at this point. The season's over, and they could hit the Rams. It's hard to see them go 12-4, but it's possible. It's possible. So 12-4 could be the best case there. Worst case, somewhere around Maybe the Bills because they could be the better team. Somewhere, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to see them. I mean, the Niners are just, they're dominant years, 7-9. I don't really see them getting that low though. 8. I feel like the 8 to 11 to be more specific. Precise 9, 10 wins. I think for the Cardinals this year. Um, I did, yeah, a little bold. I had them being the Niners twice, maybe a little bold. I just kind of like the matchup. And again, we do week by week predictions in year, kind of have more of an idea what the matchup is like. Once we get there. So this is what I got here. Actually, I had 10 wins trying to find I had the Bills. So 10-6 is what I had. Maybe a little surprising, but good schedule, good team on the rise. They got the game plan factor. I think Murray's gonna have a big year. Now they got Drake full time. That was kind of just a second half of the year thing. The offensive line should get better by default, and they I think they can just continue to grow as the season goes on. It's kind of one of those teams. And the defense got better, of course, too. Let's see if they click. Sometimes defenses, when they get some new faces, they don't click right away. You kind of expect more, but not saying that'll happen. It's just going to be interesting to see. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please click that like button. Check out both of our channels. We really appreciate a subscription to both of them. And follow our Twitter. That's where we'll be talking football there, answering questions. That's where you enter for Terrible Take Tuesday video series, and that's where you vote for future videos and content within those videos. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.